Have you ever noticed that people will uwu literally anything? Like anything with a pulse. Yes, from this literal piece of human garbage to Charles the DDR master Manson. There are those who will romanticize anything. Part of the reason for the dark in my name is my love for true crime, horror, and the grimdark genre of literature. While I have always been drawn to this sort of thing, due in no small part to watching the Forensic Files with my parents as a kid, what really kickstarted my fascination with the dark was actually the creepypasta posted to Reddit titled, "I am a search and rescue officer for the US Forest Service, and I have some stories to tell." This 8-part series was a fictitious first-person account of a search and rescue officer and the horror stories they had at an unnamed national park. The stories were deeply captivating to me, from the paranormal mystery to the real fear of being left alone in the forest. I enjoyed it immensely, and I continue to revisit it from time to time. From here, I jumped into a deep pool of scary online stories. Some were great, many were forgettable, and some were so cringy that my spine twitches just thinking about them. Along with any internet trend comes with the community that orbits around it. And this particular community is, Alright, let me cut to the chase. In this video, we're going to casually skim through a few of these tales, and the sometimes hilarious impact they had on the creepypasta community. First, if you somehow dodged this bullet, a creepypasta is essentially a scary story posted to the internet. This story then gets copied and pasted to other parts of the internet to spread the legend. The word itself comes from copypasta, which is a block of text that is copied and pasted around the internet. Throw the word creepy in there and boom, you got an internet phenomenon. You may actually be familiar with a few of these characters from some of these stories. Of course, you've heard of the infamous Slender Man, the Rake, the SCP Foundation, Edgy Sonic, and of course, Joker ripoff, I mean Jeff the Killer. Let us dive into a few of these, shall we? So we begin with the mascot of creepypasta, for better or for worse. Let me ask you something. Do you like cute, raw XD emo boys? Do you like them a little crazy? Well, then I am sure you'll be glad I introduced you to Jeff the Killer. Not to be confused with Voldemort, a villain that was arguably competently written. Jeff the Killer is perhaps the most well-known of all creepypasta characters, and his story goes like this. Jeff was a 13-year-old who moved into a new neighborhood with his brother Lou and his parents. On their first day of school, they were accosted by 3 bullies named Randy, Keith, and Troy, whom Jeff brutally beat up after they threatened him with their knives. Okay, so this 13-year-old boy did a crisp 1v3 against 3 guys with knives. Okay, cool. Seems legit. Lou, his brother, took the blame for it and was arrested, sending Jeff into a deep depression. So the cops apparently showed up, saw that there's 3 kids with knives that got soloed by Jeff. Also, imagine getting soloed by someone named Jeff. Isn't that just embarrassing? Anyway, so these police, they're just like, oh, well, somebody was in trouble here, and it wasn't the 3 armed children, so let's take in one of these 2 boys. So they took in Jeff's brother. And then Jeff got big sad. The bullies later attacked Jeff again at a party, because the first time they did that went really well. And Jeff killed one of them. Okay. But not before getting covered in bleach and lit on fire by Keith. Dang, Keith. During this fight, Jeff's mind permanently snapped. Ooh. When Jeff woke up, he was at the hospital, and his head was wrapped in bandages. When the bandages were taken off, it was revealed that his face had become disfigured and ghastly, pale from the burns, with bright red lips and a leathery texture. Jeff said that he liked his face this way, and laughed hysterically, because if you're not the Joker, you're not a good villain. But the doctor foolishly thought that this was insanity, and was merely a side effect of painkillers, and left Jeff go home. No, I think the doctor was right. I think that is insanity. I think the mistake is you didn't lock him up, because, I mean, apparently the police assumed Jeff and his brother are criminals. So, I mean, not going to bring that up with the cops. All right. Later that night, Jeff's mother found him carving his face into a permanent smile 'cause Joker, so he would no longer have to exert energy to smile, as he put it. and burning off his eyelids because he wasn't edgy enough. Jeff's mother went to her husband to tell him that their son had gone completely mad and needed to be killed. But Jeff caught them and stabbed them to death because now he doesn't like his parents, I guess, totally unjustifiably, but whatever. This woke up Lou, parentheses, who was released, his brother, with Jeff telling him as he was about to plunge the knife into his body.
Go to sleep.
Jeff then went on a serial killing rampage, killing those who refused to sleep at night. And as the story continued, Jeff renamed himself Jeff the Killer. Man, there's so much I want to say about this. Okay, so your name is Jeffrey and you become a homicidal maniac. And you want to give yourself a cool, edgy name, okay? Okay, so what are we gonna do? Jeff. Yes, it's perfect. Jeff the Killer. Yes, that strikes fear into anyone's hearts. No, dude, Jeff is like only scary in the context of meeting someone named Jeff in like an unknown gas station bathroom. That might be a little terrifying. But no, Jeff, that's a stupid name. Okay, so again, what was with the police just like assuming that these 2 kids beat up 3 kids with knives? I guess this creepypasta wasn't exactly known for being written with any of that crisp logic that people like in their plots, but that's alright. But yeah, now you know the origin story of Jeff the Killer. Let's see what the community has done with these characters. First up, we have this one. We got the long hair, the permanent smile. They did mention that he like cut out his eyelashes, I think, but those are still there. Overall, pretty anime. Like not like a horrible offense, but you know, let's see what else that they have for us here. Okay, yeah. Well, what is there to say about this? Like we clearly have like kind of like a shirtless anime cute boy thing going on here, and then we have like some blood and a knife. So worried about the person who drew this more than anything, but not exactly how I imagined the character, I guess you could say. Okay, this is actually some solid art. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the attention to the hair. Kind of looks like a YouTuber art, I would say. I like what they did with the eyes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know art stuff, but this guy still has his eyelashes, you know? It seems like they don't want to give him that because it would make him like less uwu. So yeah, I mean like good art, but like this is probably the best of the best there is, in my opinion. Okay, this is a great example of what I was terrified of seeing. We got a nice abs here. I like that. I like the idea that he just like went and murdered somebody in like his swimsuit, and then just like strikes a pose and leaves. Like, why is he doing this? Why are you making him like sexy? Stop that. He's like a serial killer. Ah, yes. Deviant art. Are you really scared of me? Me. Okay. I don't know how you extrapolate this character from the tale we were just told, but I'm honestly impressed by that level of delusion, so I'm not even mad. But Jeff isn't the only person I want to talk about right now. There's one more creepypasta character I want to cover in this video. His name is Eyeless Jack. Hello, my name is Mitch. I'm here to tell you guys about an experience I had. I don't know if it was paranormal or whatever stupid words people use to describe supernatural phenomena, but after that thing visited me, I believe in that paranormal trash now. This guy does not have a high opinion of his new beliefs. A week after I moved in with my brother Edwin, after my house was foreclosed, I finished unpacking. Edwin liked the idea of me moving in, since we had not seen each other for over 10 years, so I was excited too. I soon fell asleep after I moved in. After that 1 week, I heard rustling noises coming from outside at about 1 in the morning. I thought it was a raccoon, so I ignored it and tried to fall asleep. The next night, however, I thought I heard my window opening and a loud thump, as if something entered my room. I darted up and looked around my room, but saw nothing. The next morning? We're just gonna cut to the next morning? Dude, you didn't check to see if your window was open?
Okay.
The next morning, Edwin dropped his coffee cup when he saw me. He held up a nearby mirror and I saw myself. I had a large gash in my left cheek. After I was rushed to the hospital, my doctor told me that I must have been sleepwalking. Then he showed me something that made my blood turn cold. He lifted up my shirt to reveal a sewn-up incision where my kidneys were. I stared in his eyes, my own eyes widening. You somehow lost your left kidney last night. You don't know how, though. Sorry, Mitch, my doctor told me. The next night was my breaking point. Around midnight, I woke up to see a truly horrifying sight. I was staring face to face with a creature with a black hoodie and a dark blue mask, with no nose or mouth staring down at me. The thing that scared me the most was it had no eyes, just empty black sockets. The creature also had some black substance dripping from its sockets. I like the idea of just this horrifying eyeless creature just waltzing into Walmart to grab himself a black hoodie. Can't skip those rollback prices, you know? I know the author's trying to humanize the creature or something, but it's just a silly idea to me. I grabbed the camera nearby on the mantle and took a picture. After the picture took, the creature lunged at me and tried to claw my chest open to get to my lungs. Okay, one, why did the creature just sit there and let you grab your camera and take a picture? And two, how did you know it was going for your lungs of all things? It's so specific. I stopped it by kicking it in the face as I ran out of my room. I grabbed my wallet. I would need the money. I ran out of my brother's house into the night. I eventually ended up in the woods near Edwin's house and tripped on a rock. I fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital. My doctor entered the room, the same one who treated me before. I have good news and bad news, Mitch, my doctor started. The good news is that you had minor injuries, and your parents are going to pick you up. I sighed with relief. The bad news is that your brother has been killed by some thing. Sorry. What a dick of a doctor. Why are you being so vague? Clearly you're letting on that you know. You know what it is. You're not just gonna sit down and talk about it or what? Okay. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared, but remained calm. I grabbed my camera, then stopped dead in my tracks. In the hallway leading to my room, I saw Edwin's body and something small laying next to it. Okay, pause. So the doctor knew that he was killed. He was killed by something. But the body is just sitting there, laying in the house. So presumably there was some kind of police investigation. They just kind of left the body there, didn't pack it up. You know, there isn't crime scene tape being described at all. That's just very strange. I picked up the small thing and entered my parents' car, not mentioning Edwin's corpse. I looked at the thing I had picked up and nearly vomited. I was holding my stolen half-eaten kidney with some black substance on it. Alright, so picked up some sort of slimy, bloody object, thought nothing of it. Then only when you get in the car you decide to look down and be like, "Oh, no way! I was holding my stolen half-eaten kidney with some black substance on it. That's crazy. The odds of this being flesh from my dead brother whose body is slowly decomposing in his house is less likely than the idea that this is my kidney because I know what my kidney looks like, even half-eaten with black substance on it." Okay. Okay. First up we have this. Yeah, it looks like someone went in MS Paint and added all the black goo substances dripping from eye holes here and here. It looks like that was done by a different person than whoever did the standard ooh-woo looking art. For some reason he's an elf, I guess. Yep. Here's Eyeless Jack. Isn't that how you imagined him? Not how I imagined him. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Disgusting. I hate it. Mask too small for head. Does not meet the dimensions. Doesn't make sense. So this one's just bad. Read the story. Okay, we got a little cutie. Alright, we got a little mildly annoyed. Okay. Uh-oh, we got a mischievous one. Oh, he's got your kidney. What are you gonna do about it? Look how mischievous. Okay, and then we have this little flower here, some little sparkle action. Whatever this thing is, kind of leans into the idea that he's happy or surprised or something. I don't know. It's awful. I don't like this at all. Okay, this is Yowie, I guess. For those of you who don't know, this is a different Creepypasta character, equally awful, if not worse so, named Tiki Toby. I guess they're in a romance now. Very nice. Okay, we got a little comic here. Maybe with LJ, I guess we would look good together. He is very cute. He's tall. And his hair is very soft too. His lips too, bro, you know what his hair and lips feel like, and you're not in a relationship with this guy, okay? That's kind of creepy, but I guess that's the whole point of like these creepypasta characters, but I don't think that's what they were expecting me to get out of this. I think the artist was expecting me to be like, oh, he's like a cute little gay boy. That's the best, yes. And genuinely my favorite art is is like the original image associated. I don't think it's chilling or necessarily like scary, but if you had like sleep paralysis and you opened your eyes and you saw something like this, I think that would be, pretty scary, I'm not entirely sure, but it almost seems as though like a lot of these creepypastas just pop up based off of the image. Like the image can invoke like your own mental scary story along with it, right? And I think like the potential of your own imagination with this image is a lot more terrifying than anything like some of these creepypasta writers have pulled off is. So yeah, this is my favorite by far. Okay, don't get me wrong. Not all creepypastas are like this bad. I'm not trying to misrepresent it. Like I mentioned previously, there's a lot of these stories that I think are fantastic. These in particular are pretty terrible, and I think the phenomena of genuinely talented artists and bad artists alike getting together and making these characters, come to life in a way that is just deeply romanticized, just like making like these serial killers and kidney eaters, like literal cannibals, and turning them into anime boyfriends is strange to me. Anyway, thanks for dropping by the GrinDark channel. If you liked the video and you've made it this far, I'd really appreciate a comment more than anything. I would love to read what you have to say about my video. There's more stuff coming soon, and I hope you stick around to find out what's next. Have a great one.